Well, that's
Just
not fun.
yeah, relaxing.
Good.
So yeah, at home, kids.
Oh, we call that the staycation.
The staycation.
Stay,
What's that?
S-T-A-Y.
Oh, stay.
So
I
you're
see.
staying home and you're having a vacation at home. It's a staycation.
Exactly. There is when you really relax because when
Yeah.
you go vacations,
Not
you get
relaxing.
even.
No.
Yeah, no.
I need a vacation from my vacation.
Yeah, we always talk about that. That when you go on a vacation and then you like plan it out, so you're gone like for say a week or 2 weeks or however, and then you like plan it like, okay, well I want to extend it, so I'm going to come home on Sunday. Then you got to go to work and you're like, I don't want to go to work. I'm too tired from my vacation.
Exactly.
They end your vacation like 2 days early. Or
Yeah, and I had pending stuff from my vacations when because I bought something that needed some extra treatment at home, and they were there just yeah, left alone. So yeah, whatever.
now you
So
got to
yeah,
deal with that, right?
exactly, which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is the first time we've had the whole team together in feels like a really long time. Let's go ahead and get started, and then we will. I've got a couple things I wanted to go through, and then we can look at the stand-up list. We made a pretty good dent in it yesterday, but there's still more to do in that. So.
Okay. Well, I was working mainly in resolving comments in pull requests. I am now taking care of the royalty QA comments. I am working on that right now. Well, I will continue doing more pull request corrections. That's pretty much it for me.
Okay, well, for me, not that much. Catching up. So a few tiny pull requests recently, and keep working on the lamination driver one. I just updated a few changes, Brian, based on because on my last working day, I was trying to make that work for tiered properly. Right, which is the main use case. So I have that now working properly on that because we can totally assume that those main two columns are not actually content, and we can deduce but there's still those artifact uprising color series books that shift the content. But maybe it's not a big deal there. Those are just a few batches that we align fully right and button.
Yeah, that's what I had actually asked. I asked Chad to work with Tara on that to understand
Right.
to see if we should be doing all four sides. Or did you get back from her?
No, you know what? I was actually, while you guys were talking, I was just realizing I meant to bring that up in our meeting with her yesterday, and I forgot. So I will go talk to her specifically about that today.
Yeah, but with tiered batches, that was a lot of situations. Now we are down to only artifact uprising, so maybe not a big deal. Anyway, it's there.
Maybe not, but it still would be useful to know. I mean, if it's not a problem doing it on all four sides, then I just would, and then we can make sure we've got it somewhere.
Right. Well, that's it for me. I don't know what. And I saw some minted issues. We need a pick and pack envelope there.
Is that what Jamie?
Thank you.
Is that what Jamie sent you? Jamie sent you something today too. Did you see that?
There are two
Not yet.
things.
Two things.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the one
Okay.
later today at the end of this.
Awesome. Okay, that's it for me.
Okay, the Printify shipping API, then I basically have it ready, I think, unless there's some huge thing that I forgot about. But and also there's going to be there's some weirdness because with voiding, then anyway, voiding is a little bit weird because they want us to send a reason and they give us 3 options and none of them is that we need to reprint it. So I think I'm just gonna send them, there's customer canceled, address error, and duplicate. So I'll probably just send them duplicate, and then if they don't like that, they can come up, add another option, because I asked them about it and they basically kind of said, no, there's nothing wrong on our side. Or we don't need to do anything on our side, so yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much, yeah, and then, yeah. That is.
Hey, do you have
that's
a
pretty much
general?
me.
Do you have a
Oh, sorry.
general estimation? Do you think of how much work is left on that? Printify shipping stuff.
Honestly, I think I basically have it.
Okay.
Now, as far as working through kinks that come up,
Sure. We don't know what that is.
I think I
yeah, I just
basically have
wasn't.
it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
all my question was. Is
Yeah.
that if it was at least the MVP, I
Yeah.
guess. You know, if that
Yeah.
was getting closer.
Yeah, I've got that, and so I
Okay.
guess I don't know if we have anything to test with, or we have them. I don't know if I know the order
Yeah.
stuff that Scotty had was from legacy stuff, so I don't know, but
Yeah, well, think of if you can think of something that you need to do for a test or whatever, just send them an email on that. And I mean, I don't know if it's that easy or what the next step is, but
yeah, I'll work with Scotty on that because
yeah.
he needs tests too.
I just
So,
mostly,
'cause they'll-
as soon as
'cause they'll-
possible,
yeah.
get this out of our brains because I
Yeah.
hate it so much.
Yeah, yeah,
I know you guys do too.
yeah. So, yeah, so I'm pretty much done with that. And, unless I'm back into something bound on it, then I'll probably be like I have some other stuff to merge to branches that I've got to hold master in and merge conflicts and probably some code review. So that's it for me.
Sounds good. I'm also working on Printify. I got a payload from them, so I'm just building the import or not the import, but the ingestion to work with the import. So grabbing their files, putting them in the right way that we've designed it, and then testing that all the way through. And I think after that, we're pretty much good to go to the next phase, which I think is just testing tests. They need to send some stuff over probably that we need to look at, see how it runs through the whole process. So, and I think I'll be able to actually run this payload all the way through because the links they gave me are live and actual images. So I think we'll be able to at least run this test on our side before we have to necessarily talk to them.
You're gonna want to make sure to pay attention to the orientation of the pages for a calendar product. You can compare it to Zazzle, but when you're doing, if this, depending on the type of calendar, if this is a calendar that is coil bound in the middle, so it hangs.
So yeah, like when you hang on your fridge.
Well, there's 2 types of hangs. There's one where the coil's at the top and you're just hanging the whole sheet.
Oh yeah.
Or there's a type of calendar where there's a coil in the middle and you hang it, but so you're seeing the top half up here and then the calendar dates. So usually the top half will be photos and the bottom half will be
Yeah.
the calendar, right? So in those cases, you need to rotate the bottom 180 degrees in order for them to lay out correctly so that it displays like a
Like
calendar.
you would, like it's supposed to, because normally they'd send them in like this, but it really
Yeah.
has to go like this.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to look and see, because they may send it in already that way, but we're gonna need to verify it. And then you can check the logic. We do that, I think, for Zazzle, or there's a couple of calendar products where we actually have a product modifier to rotate even pages or something like that. That's what it's for.
Gotcha. And yeah, just looking at the images, and we'll have to have them send an actual test.
And yeah, for sure.
Because these images are not, they don't rotate. They're just pictures of a calendar. But that's good to know. So that'll be the next step then. Once I get the suggestion, I'll reach out to them and have them send a real test with real pictures, so that I can test what Ryan was saying with the orientation and making sure that looks correct. Because these are all they sent me, Ryan.
Oh yeah, that's not going to help any. Okay.
So that's just gonna.
Oh, but that shows you that type of calendar. That's one we don't need to rotate because that's a hang from the top.
That's the hang from the top one.
Yeah, so that must be a preview that you're looking at. We need to make sure we grab not the preview, but the print file.
Oh yeah, they sent the same file in both.
For both? Okay.
Yeah. Oh nope, I'm just dumb. There you go. That's what they sent.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, well, so you can't quite tell from that. Well, you can, but that just shows you aren't going to need to rotate the pages because that's more like probably an 11 by 17.
Yep, that's the big cal.
Yep. So it's probably just, if they're doing a small cal, you'll need to do it on that one.
Gotcha. So I'll need to get a test of the small calendar as well. And then I think once that's done, we should be able to, or at least I'll talk to him, Chuck, about like with these test orders in dev, if we can just run it all the way to shipped. If they'll send in one with their shipping API, this one doesn't have it set up for it. But then I think I don't know why they can't give us a label on that one. So I'll build an email to send them by the end of the day with what I think our next steps are and see where they want to go. They have some tests that Chuck's changes would have broke, but they are supposed to be broken according to the email that Geeta sent. So I'll also include that because they changed how they want it to work apparently from the test that they sent. So there's a couple things like that that need to be taken care of.
Yeah, conflicting documentation.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll build an email and get it out by the end of the day for them after I get this fixed, and I want to at least run this through it. So, yeah.
Okay. Working towards another deploy. There are several PRs that are back and forth. Been working on Mario, but a bunch of them. So working on that.
Okay, great. Before you bring up the thing, I just wanted to talk about this for just a second. Stand up, thank you. Sebastian, they're getting ready to roll these out. This is for 3-knife cutting. Looks like this is all data. Is there any reason, I was looking at it, it all seems pretty accurate, or seems like it's working anyways. I mean, I guess I don't know what accurate is. Is there anything on here that anybody can see that would lead them to think they wanted to roll this out on the floor? It looks like they're collecting data now and they wanted to put it up on the board, and they just
Yeah, I've seen that they've
look at
been
it, so.
collecting data. On the last comments, they mentioned, what I couldn't test actually is the shift and the transition, right? Because we need to test that at 2 a.m. basically. But if they found that was right, then great. And I haven't compared 3-knife cutting with their mockup to see. But if they are fine with this general information as a common and shared information between all departments, then great. Maybe, and I don't think 3-knife cutting had an extra custom KPI, but
I don't
they're
think so.
collecting data.
I mean, it's pretty much just how many books they're cutting, so I don't think there's a whole lot to that.
Yeah, exactly. The one that I do know that have specific ones was the printers, Indigo 10K department. So.
Does that one have,
And also they wanted, I don't know if for the 3 knife, but they wanted CAT's main metric, and we don't have a way right now to.
yeah,
to
that's
get that
something
information,
we're, well, I think Dan was, at least last was working on, right, was, getting the cut data from the, what's the name of that company?
Oh,
Cut.
Microcut.
Yeah.
Microcut.
okay, good.
And that's what you're,
Yeah.
that's what you're talking about, right? We're waiting to try to pull the actual cut data from Microcut so you can add it to it, correct?
Yeah, maybe I haven't heard anything about it.
Okay.
All I know is that in the mock-ups they were mentioning CATs, and we don't have that ability right now.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. So did you, when I was looking at this, this 30,000 and 15,000, that looks like it's the same. Would they have had to set this? Is this unique to them?
They can switch per department, so they should be able to adjust. I preset everything with the mock-up data, and I don't know if that was actually accurate or not, but
Oh,
They should
yeah,
be
so
able
this one's different.
yeah, that's different.
Oh, okay. And do we know what this data is coming from? Because we don't really know what cuts. Is it just the estimated cuts?
Yeah, you see CATs there, and CATs will end up defaulting to impressions, I think, because we don't have support yet. We just have the ability to choose CAT, but yeah, we cannot rely on CATs right now.
Yeah. And then it looks like their operators are not logging in. I can't remember, did they say all those machines have tablets
no,
there?
Mario Karen, yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm setting up this morning
Oh, you're setting that up. Okay,
with Gerardo.
cool.
The manual.
All right.
Where did I put that? Manual cutters. Yeah, and then the Duplo, and then the Smart Stacker, and Kluge, and the clamshell. I'm gonna set up.
Okay, sweet. All right, well, do you want to bring up did you say you had something you wanted to bring up?
So I have a quick question. What Jamie sent over today, she was asking about the minted envelope liners. She said she was following up on it. I was wondering, Chad, had you talked to Jamie or Chase? This would have
Yes.
been like last week.
And this is the one where Sebastian was shrinking it, or it needed to be shrink so that we could fit it 4 up, is that right?
But we found out that because Minted has different dimensions for their printed envelope from, I think it was the knot, that there wasn't a way that we were going to get 4 out.
As it was, right? But then Sebastian, you'd said that we could shrink it and make
They
it.
asked about that, and
Yeah.
I said we could totally do that, but there will be a disagreement between
Yeah,
what we produce and their payload dimensions.
yeah.
If Minted
So-
is okay with that, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
so that was exactly what my conversation was, and they said yes, they want to do that. And I told them what my concern was. I'm like, well, if it ever switches back, or I think Sebastian brought up a really good point. If they ever come back to us and are like, why do these not match? Because you told us to make them not match. They don't match. So, but he said that they talked to him, and that's what they wanted us to do. So,
So they want
Good.
us to change it to the knot specs,
Right.
but keep the same SKU.
Exactly.
yes.
Okay, so I can do that if.
Yeah. Can we add a note to that product specifically because?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Let's put an internal notice
Yeah.
on that. We did this
Yeah.
because Chase asked us to. Because if it does ever come up, I don't want us to try to remember and them claim they don't, at least we'll.
Yeah.
And it probably won't. I mean, I'm probably making a bigger deal out of this than it really is, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little irritated about it, but that's okay.
So I will do that. I think I have like 20 Post-its. I'm currently creating like an
Managing.
actual Word document that has everything so that it's coherent, but okay. Perfect. So that does that one. And then, quick question. For Cloud Printer, they want to add Passbook as like parent-child relationship. And I think there's a partner request. I was wondering if that's something that I can do through the UI. For example, I don't think it is through the partner request, but I was wondering if I submitted it and then is there a way that I can do that? No.
Not to, well, what is their end goal?
So let me.
Do they want orders to flow into that new partner?
So.
Or what's the setup?
Yeah, so she says, can you please assist with creating a separate partner for Passbook? Please see below for context. We will begin to charge them for storage and need to route orders separately.
The routing orders is something that's going to have to be code-wise.
Okay.
Unless they send through standard API.
I can see what that partner request does. Partner request, Passbook. It's standard. It's selected as currently standard API in the partner request.
So, I think the Passbook orders have Passbook as integration key 2 or something like that.
Is Passbook currently a partner?
No, they send all their orders through Cloud Printer.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they are, but they're
Got it.
an indirect partner. So they partner with
Okay.
Cloud Printer. Cloud Printer partners with us. So therefore, we print all of Passbook stuff.
Got it.
So we need to make code changes such that when those orders come in, they file into the new partner. We need to make sure that the callbacks are all copies of Passbook with copies of the Cloud Printer API calls, but with Cloud Printer's API key, not Passbook's. Passbook will not receive orders directly. Orders are still going to come in through Cloud Printer. We're going to need to remap it at time of import so that it goes to Passbook. But yet the callbacks are going to need to go back to Cloud Printer the way that the Cloud Printer wants to. We do something similar to this for Wonderbly and historic newspapers.
Okay, so I just created a story. I don't know if I actually need it now in stand-up, but let me.
Well, we can let's just estimate it right now, and then we'll.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I have any notes that are necessary. What did you say? We're doing something similar with, you said Wonderbly and historic newspaper?
Wonderbly and historic news. Yep.
So, would it make sense if I said needs parent-child relationship? Or
Yeah, that's part.
Yeah, it's,
Just plus everything else.
plus
need to be able to route orders.
What did you say about ingestion, Ryan?
separate.
That would be.
So when the order comes in, it comes in through the Cloud Printer integration, but we're going to need to map the order to a different partner.
Okay.
So similar like tree ring.
Yep, similar to Tree Ring also.
So they will use the same endpoint.
They will use the cloud printer endpoint, but we will treat them separately on the inside. And then when we make the callbacks, we need to make sure that we're calling back as if it was a cloud printer callback instead of a Passbook callback. You need to use the cloud printer API key, not the Passbook API key.
Okay.
But we can't use the same API key for both Cloud Printer and Passbook because then the importer will break because it won't know which one.
Oh, so how do we do that?
They have to have a way of identifying Passbook orders, so we'll have to look at the payload. Like I said, I think they put Passbook in as the integration key too. I think I remember seeing that, but we'll have to look.
You said they're using Passbook as integration key 2 currently?
Potentially.
I think really what this, I think we need to maybe change a process here because if there's something that needs to have a story written, then we need to really write the story out. So maybe if you are not sure, then we probably need to assign the ticket to somebody to ask. And then if it is, then we can have a story to write, to fill out the story, to do the investigation, write it out, get it all in so that we can speak. Because right now, I mean, this is all off the gut. I don't know if it's all correct. Somebody's going to need to do some research, and so it feels like somebody should do the research and get the story written.
Right.
Makes sense.
You want to use this? Just kind of, I can take these notes out and just
You can
use
leave
it as
them.
a.
Leave them. Leave them.
Yeah,
No,
but I can
it's
link
not-
it
it's not worth
to
thinking
the.
about.
Yeah, I can link it to
And
the
link it to the ticket.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we just assign it to somebody right now to do the story so that we can.
Perfect. Yeah, and this is good that we're talking this out, talking it through, because what's been happening recently is we've been getting a ton of these, plus like a ton of new products that need developers, and I've been wondering the best way to go about it, because if I just tell them no.
I think we
assigning
should
the
assign-
ticket and then.
I would assign the ticket to one of us.
And I'll just
I
let
don't
the
know
account managers know, this isn't just gonna be a quick, like, okay, we're gonna complete the product
Go back and say,
request. We're not gonna be able to complete the partner request, just ASAP,
well,
because it's
what I
gonna
would-
need developer work on it.
but only once you hear that. Like if you're not sure, I wouldn't respond yet, and reach out to one of us, sign it out, let us look at it. Then we can confirm that this is a longer one, or at least we can say, oh wait, no, you can do this, and we can at least show you, or at least
Yeah,
give you some direction. But I think that they will need to understand they're not going to get an answer right away on those ones that are potentials, and they need to give us a little
Sometime.
more time anyway in general before expecting a response. Like I feel like if it's not urgent, then and they're not coming and talking to us, then the next day is probably plenty of time.
Yeah.
for this one, any volunteers? For me to assign it to them?
Yeah, I can take a look at it and
Okay.
scope it out.
Perfect.
Ryan.
I mean, honestly, a lot of what I'm gonna feed it into Claude and work
Right.
through the issues and
Right.
and so it's gonna be doing it. But at least I know what questions to ask. Like I'm not. I don't think it's something that anybody can necessarily. I mean, any developer can. I wouldn't put that on you, Rebecca, because you wouldn't necessarily
I was
know how to guide it.
I was
Yeah,
gonna actually ask you a question for the developers specifically. Do we want to maybe take some time one day and go through how you're feeding it in to build the stories? Because I like what your stories are looking like, and maybe we need to standardize that a little bit better, that they come in that way. And I don't know if, like you said, you know the right questions, and maybe that's just always going to be the case, right? That
I don't know. Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
pretty good with AI.
all right.
Just not as a developer.
Well,
I've been there.
I'll tell you something. If you wanted to play with it a little bit, and I might play with it a little bit too, Rebecca, feed into Claude. I mean, because you could tell us, say, hey, write a story for.
So the challenge is that you're really going to need to use Claude Code, because Code's going to know it's going to have access to and then that opens up another can
of worms.
potential issues. So
Okay, so for now,
I
Yeah,
think I can
but-
rewrite our entire code. I'm pretty
you could.
confident.
It will
Claude
try
can do that for you. We'll try.
I know, that's what I've heard.
So,
okay.
Yeah, we shall
Well,
see.
if that's
I
the
don't know.
case, I don't want to. I mean, I also don't want to put in stuff because, like Rebecca or I don't really know what we're talking about, and then it just gets messy. I don't want to do that either. So, I don't know. Just a thought. I don't know if even among the development team, if there is an idea of how we could standardize the creation of code of stories from your end, but I don't know. Maybe think about it, and we can talk about it later. We
yeah,
can do it today.
still pretty new.
Yeah. But I would say, if you are writing a story, like use Claude Code to help you, like get what you need. So I mean, you know the
There's still-
questions that you would need, but may have to
There's
clean
still
that
some
up. but-
things that I'm missing when I'm reviewing it that I wish I had changed it. When I see it later on when I'm doing the pull requests, going, oh, and that's in the story. So it's still
new.
still have to be careful with it, but
Yeah.
we're learning.
Yeah, that will always happen. It used to
Yeah.
happen in the past as well.
Yeah.
We detect later that we started the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Pretty common.
Do you want to bring the stand-up list up, Rebecca?
Yeah, but really quick, I wanted to ask, just kind of a follow-up on this, kind of just see where we're at with the Wonderbly partner, Plucky. Because I know
This
before.
is like kind of the same thing, right? Are we setting up another off the Wonderbly? So we already have historic news, and now we're setting it up another one, right? This is the same
Correct.
thing that we're talking about, right?
Correct, but on this one, they wanted to build the same through Wonderbly. Historic newspapers built separate. So I know Mario had a question on
Right, but my
that part,
question is,
Acumatica.
but is this still the same thing? They want to do the same thing we were just talking about? They just want it to be
Yes.
a third partner instead of a second one?
Second, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
this is the third partner. Yeah.
And
Yes.
what does that mean? Does that have, is that a problem or not really?
I think the only question I had, I guess, was just for Mario to see if he'd gotten his question answered. If he was waiting for me on anything on this one, or because the last time I think we talked about it stand up, Scotty and Chuck had some ideas on the Acumatica part. Because I think that's where it was.
Yeah.
What we
Currently
need to
at.
understand is, what do they mean by what are they really asking for? Do we know? Because I still am not sure after our conversations on what it means what they're asking for on the Acumatica side.
You
Because,
mean
what
like
I
how
think
it's going to be
is-
built, or?
Well, what do they want? Because it should just, build to Wonderbly means, because build
Yeah.
to Wonderbly, I think just means that it creates a Plucky invoice and it's addressed to Wonderbly. I hope that's all it is, but
Yeah.
we need to verify that.
Yeah, I did look.
Check it out.
The way it's phrased.
Yeah. Yeah, I went. And, yeah.
Oh, you didn't talk to him?
No.
Oh.
When I did queries and I looked for partners that had that same billing company, and there was, I can't remember which partner, but it's one that has guest books and about the print, and even for them, then they had separate accounts on Acumatica. So I don't
Yeah,
think there's
yeah.
any.
Oh, okay.
There's not any going to the same account on Acumatica as.
I think in Acumatica you can set it up to where the one account bills to the other.
Yeah, so So it's probably just configuration or something they do on that side, but
But that doesn't change the
Yeah.
original question on what exact, we just need to make sure we know what they want, right?
yeah. Mhm.
Probably.
Okay, so we'll figure that out. Rebecca and I will take care of that right after this meeting and get that over to you. But I would say that probably these partners for Bucky and for the one that Ryan's gonna look at probably have some urgency, right? I mean, I'm not saying drop everything, but we probably
Right.
need to get a resolution by tomorrow, I would say. If possible, depending on what it is. I mean, if you run into like a bunch of work and it's gonna take more than that, then we'll,
Anytime that there's code change, the expectation should not be it's tomorrow.
right,
Exactly.
100%,
That's
agree.
just
Yeah.
so-
Agreed.
Yeah.
I forgot you'd said that that was probably going to be a code change. And
Yeah, they
speaking
all
of
will be.
code change, okay. And speaking of code change, I had I got a message back from Dan yesterday, just for those of you following at home, on the web press. He said that's going to require code change, and he's going to have to figure it out. So it
Makes
does
sense.
look like it's going to be more. And he's like, I'll take a look at it when I get back. So.
Do you know when he's getting back? Is it next week?
I think he'll be back tomorrow. I think they're
Oh,
coming
wow.
back today. I think they just went down for the day. I could be
Yeah,
wrong
it's
though.
just
I don't know, but usually when they do this, I think he was
Quick.
gone yesterday and today, and he'll be back sometime today and be back tomorrow in the office tomorrow. Is my guess.
Oh,
Okay, so before we go to the somewhere else in the list, Sebastian, I am hoping that you'll continue on the Vended project once you kind of get a handle on everything. You have a couple of stories in here in stand up, and I just wasn't sure if you just put them there when you created them or if you wanted to go over them before you started work on them, or
Which ones?
just so I see. Well, I guess phase 2 and phase 3, those aren't necessarily.
Oh,
I'm just trying to remind myself how you'd done this. So you were doing phase 1, and that was going to be the MVP, right?
no.
And then
Those
okay.
3 phases will be the MVP.
Okay. So then I guess my question was correct. Do you want to have a discussion on those? Are you ready to start working on those now, or do you need a discussion on them beyond what we've already done? Should they just be in the sprint and not in stand up, or I just kind of wanted to make sure that they were in the right place, I guess.
Okay, good. So, phase 1, I was already started working on that. We briefly discussed that in one stand-up last week or the other.
Mhm.
The main purpose of that one is to add some flexibility and don't force the user to change anything on their side.
Right.
Right? We will have new tables, new grids, new settings. We shouldn't be just having anyone working with those yet. That's phase 1. Once we see that didn't affect current press planning and everything else, then between
We'll go to
phase
the
1 and
next.
phase 2, we can
Okay.
talk internally to see what those flexibility are and things like that, right?
Perfect.
But phase 2 and phase 3, that doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be in the current sprint at all.
No, because it sounds like, and then you answered my question. So your plan is to finish up what you need to do to feel comfortable with phase 1, and then when you finish that up, then you'll say, hey, I'm ready to talk about this one, and then we'll talk about that at that point.
Mhm.
Okay.
We briefly
Perfect.
talked about that, what this includes, and I will say that again. So phase 1 includes the vendor grid, includes some press assignment to vendors, media's assignment to vendors as well. It also includes the new tool that Dan asked for, that it was going to be to switch specific jobs that are candidates from vending into a vending media. It's the same, basically it's the same. It's a really similar tool to switch media, but everything pre-filtered, right? Candidate medias will be pre-filtered for painted medias, and candidate jobs will be already pre-filtered by candidate jobs that are painted enabled, let's say. And yeah, no more than that. And there's a lot of architectural service layer changes that are just invisible to Central Web. So that's phase one.
Okay. And so, yeah, so I'd say continue on that path then, and then let us know. And then once you get to the point of you're ready for that, then we'll go from there. We'll talk about the next step when you get there.
Okay, good.
And just for kind of, man, we've had a lot going on. A lot of requests from the account management team and troubleshooting and just a ton of stuff. When I met with the executive team earlier this week, I told them that our primary projects that we're trying to push forward right now are the vended project and the shelving stuff that we've been kind of meeting on. I know we estimated some of them yesterday, and the stat boards kind of mixed in as that makes sense. So that's what I told them that we're working on. I think that that's pretty consistent when we can find any work. But if you find yourself looking for stuff, that's where I want to kind of stay in those things, so we can try to get them going and get them wrapped up. And then also, I guess, cutting planning is in there too, but we've kind of been talking about that separate, and that's
Something else that we need, just to start thinking through. Tara asked for something that is going to be kind of challenging. We're going to need to just spend some time on it, but she wants to treat. So she's really on a kick about batching single batches and multi-batches separately, which we've kind of felt, and we're trying to accommodate where we can. And she's even going further and further that she wants this everywhere. But one new piece of information that we got out of her recently is that she wants, if a batch, she wants B batches to batch separately also. So
we don't know that until after.
B?
And so
Didn't we remove B?
Well, we did, but it's still on the paperwork, or it still seems like it's on the barcode.
It's on the barcode.
Still, we did. I don't, and she still wants to know that information because so she still wants that there. We removed the sorting. They won't batch together in a like order. They'll be split. But if every item in an order is found in a batch, then that batch can batch like a single batch. It does not have to go to shelving. That's what she's trying to get at. She's trying to avoid any shelving whenever possible. So she would like, if an order is all for the same product, then she would like it to batch so that the entire order is in that batch, and batch it as a single batch, but so that it can go, or maybe marked as in batch or something. So, but that way that batch, they can get that batch can go straight to packaging instead of going over to shelving. Because right now with the multi-batch, they're having to go through and pull out the M's versus the B's, and take the B's over to packaging, but take the M's over to shelving. And she wants, if an order can go in the same batch, then she wants it to go in the same batch, and she wants it treated as basically as a single. So it's a new idea that it's kind of similar to what we're doing, but we have to reinvent how we're.
Okay, so I think we need to prioritize that Dan's idea about having a way for staging a batch logic and flag some products to go that staging rules instead of.
Sure, but that's a ways away. I don't know if we're going to get that done before peak.
Right,
Maybe
yeah.
we will, but this is something that she wants done before peak.
For peak.
So you're right. I mean, that would be ideal, but I just don't know on the timing. We're gonna have to. Maybe we talk to Dan and see what he says. I don't know, but that's. So I just wanted you to have that in your head so we can start thinking about how we could implement that.
That's probably another one of those ones that we need to write a story to write a story.
It's already right there in the 11311, but
Oh.
it's that
Oh,
6
yeah.
to 12 batch composition.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Okay, cool. So we have a story already, but we need to figure out how to do it, I guess, at the.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because she had it marked as an S plus batches needed to go to packaging, but that's not what it was. It's
It was
B
actually
batches
B.
that need to go to packaging.
Where is 12, those 11?
So she for the shelving, for her shelving initiative, she has a document of 12 items that we worked through, and so that's my way of trying to make sure we get them all taken care of. And just include, so you don't. It's not necessarily something you need. It just references back to her original document what she's wanting.
so when we wrap up the project, then we'll be able to go in and check off all the ones that she asked for,
Right.
mostly.
Right.
Okay, can you bring up, we only have about 10 more minutes. I don't want to go more than an hour, but, can you bring up 11324? Wanted to ask about this. So, more and more we're getting all these requests about packaging dimensions, and I mean, we all know the reason why.
This is already done.
This is done?
We already have the ability to scan a barcode for packaging. They just have to have the barcodes on the packaging materials.
Right. So this is
This is not a dev task.
No. So I don't think that they want to. Well, I don't think that they want to put the barcode on their packaging. And so what Chase asked is that. So he said, "Well, what are you guys doing?" Because Zazzle was making it, and basically what Zazzle does is they have. You know how we'll have like a list of barcodes,
Sure.
like on a sheet,
Yeah.
and on that
Right.
it'll be like.
So that's nothing different than having the barcode on the packaging. And sure, we could create a sheet, but how is the packager going to know which one they grabbed? With Zazzle, they've probably got 5 sizes. With us, we've got 5 sizes across 20 different partners. So how do you train so it's just something that you have to work with packaging on. Is that something that they can do? Because there's nothing stopping them from creating a sheet of barcodes that they can scan which one they used. The problem is making sure that the user is scanning the right one.
Okay, so that was all I was asked about. So it sounds like that already exists, that they could create a thing that has 5 barcodes that says this is a 9x12, this is a whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And when you take their book and you pick the packaging, then you could scan that, and then it would put those dimensions in the right spot, correct?
Yep.
So that was all he was asking. So my question was on the tech side, on the development side, is there any work and how much work it was? He's already been talking to Tara too, because I said the same
Yeah.
thing you did. I said
That's just it. It's a production.
it's a production question, but I didn't know if I knew that I don't think that this would be difficult. I know we do other stuff like this. I just didn't know. I mean, there's probably some setup we would have to do. Or are you saying this is already set up and they could just print the barcodes?
We just
and we
need
have
to
to
get the
map it,
packaging,
right?
and we define the dimensions on the packaging and put in basically a barcode key, and then they would just scan that, and it would log that was the packaging used on the order.
Okay.
So the only thing that is not built is any sort of requirement, like requiring packager to set that information. That's not built in. And nor is it built in where we would send those packaging dimensions onto Zazzle when requesting the shipping label. So both of those things would have to be done if they wanted to require. I mean, if Zazzle's requiring it, then we have to require it somewhere so that because otherwise the ship label will fail because
Yeah.
but maybe that's it. Maybe that's the easy part is before we send out a shipping label, we do that and we spit out a unable to get label, no packaging set.
Dimension.
And then we have a problem of how do we make sure that our people are doing it correctly? Because they could just, there's nothing stopping them from scanning the wrong box just to get a label.
Yeah.
And there's nothing
Well,
that
and I don't know.
can stop that.
I don't know how that's a lot different than what there already is, because there's already a packaging thing, and they can go into there and find the one that it is, versus like a card that has
It's like
a
a
bunch of
drop
barcodes
down.
on it.
Well, right now there's no
It shows
cost
images.
associated with it. There's nothing wrong with selecting the wrong packaging. I mean, it's just informational right now.
Right.
Kind of builds
What
out
would
the
be?
framework.
What if they scan the wrong barcode? Like that's what I mean.
Right. Oh yeah, sure. Same thing.
That's
yeah.
what Ryan brought that up right from the beginning. I mean, and Tara's gonna have to figure that part out. I mean, my
Right.
part of it is that what if they wanted to go that route? Because I said the same thing you did, Ryan. I said, well, can they just put a barcode on the packaging and we can just scan that? That would be the best way. And Chase knew that too, because he said the same thing. He goes, that's what I asked him. And then he goes, and then they said, well, can't you guys just do it how we're doing it? And I said, well, how are they doing it? And they just had, and then he showed me pictures. They have a sheet that has, I mean, there was probably like 12 barcodes on that sheet, and each barcode was like, this was a 9x12, this was a 3x5, this is a whatever. And then they were scanning that barcode. So then they were taking it, they were packaging it, and then they were scanning the barcode off the sheet as opposed to the packaging, which I hear it. Believe me, that introduces a lot of the problem, is because if you scan the wrong one, then you got the wrong one. But nevertheless, that was what the ask of us was, is how much work, what would it take, could we, and how much work. It sounds like it's not a ton of work, but we'd have to.
No, hold on. That's not it. The answer is how much work it is depends on what production needs us to do.
Yeah. Good
So
point.
they still have to work with production because we don't know what they're going to want. So we can't
Yeah.
predict that.
But we're not, I mean, nobody here is seeing like a giant red flag that
Nope.
there would be anything super difficult. It's just more of a, I mean, my number one concern, if I was Tara, is how much more is this going to cost us to do it, and are they willing to pay for it? That would be if I was her, but I'm not
Yep.
her, so
Nope,
I'm
we
worried
don't
more
care.
on the technology. It's not a big deal for us, but it may be for her. Okay. So would you agree that this is probably no bigger than a small story?
Hold on. I'm not saying anything because we don't know what production's going to want. They may want us to start to change scan verify so that if we scan a partner that requires that, it actually forces them, and we have to change a UI, and we have to do. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're going to want us to do.
I would
It
imagine
seems
they
like-
would want us to force it, so we'd have to add that in.
It seems like there's already certain ones where it does force selecting a package. I don't know if it's when they have a recommended
For
packaging.
FedEx, it's probably for one rate pack or one rate envelope when we did that because we needed it to make sure it went in a specific envelope type. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know
Or
because
maybe
I know
it's cubic
I know
rate
there's-
shipping methods.
I know that Cubic Rate is one of the places where there's issues because it's apparently coming up and they're having to select it, and they're just picking the first one, which is a small box, and so it's wrong. It automatically sends those dimensions, goes cubic, and I don't know if we would have. Anyway, but yeah, so that's an area where that is a
Okay.
problem, that they're
So-
selecting the wrong box, but.
Yeah, so now if I TLDR this, what it really is that yes, all of this is possible. Depending on how the packaging team needs this to work will depend on how much work it's going to be. But it all
think that's
seems to
fair.
be doable.
Feels manageable. There's nothing that says this is going to be a 2-week project.
Right, but depending on what they want and what kind of safety checks they want and yada 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 will depend on how much work it is. It could be a little work, it could be a medium-sized work. I don't know. Okay, perfect. All right, well, that was probably, I mean, we're getting close to an hour now, so those were the things I wanted to cover today. Does anybody else have anything or need anything today that we want to go over?
I have a question.
Okay.
Does anyone remember us discussing the nanogram envelope and that we needed to discuss it further with Tara to see how she wanted it to run? I swear that I had created a story.
We looked at the story yesterday.
We talked to her yesterday.
Do you guys know where the story is?
Is it in the sprint?
In Visual Studio.
Oh, that's where we keep those things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't actually know if you created the story.
I swear I did.
We did talk about it, but I don't know. I don't remember seeing the story.
I haven't either. I know I remember talking about it yesterday. I'm the same as you, Scotty. I don't know if there's a story, but I know we talked about it.
Well, I will continue looking.
I would look, and if not, start building a new one, and then we can discuss it tomorrow. If you have blank spots in your memory or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that was. Oh, I lied. One more question. They also want. Okay, another partner, Snail Mail, wants an envelope to run as open flap. Apart from selecting an open flap media, is there something else needed to configure that? Scotty was looking at it with me yesterday, and I think one partner uses a product modifier. But
that was to switch from
yes.
non-open flap media. It looked like.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that all we needed was the media, but I thought we'd better double check in stand up.
Are they going to send all 3 ways, meaning front, back, and double-sided?
I will double check on that, but from what I remember, it was just I set up the product after a product request for the envelope, and then she said, "Oh, and this needs to run open flap."
Okay, good. If it is just one product that is double-sided, or any actually, you can just specify in that specific product the main media to be the open flap one. We normally do that trick when they want 3 different products and they want the front to be its own SKU, the back to be its own SKU, and everything else. Then we switch we do that trick.
That's when you have to do the try and make open flap.
Mm-hmm. And there was something else also, because it depends. I think I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember exactly why we have that trick, and we don't just set 3 products to go.
The 3 different ways.
With the 3 main medias be the same. Maybe if we if we set up the product that way, we will find out. But
I like
a good
it.
idea. So, yeah.
That was our best guess.
I've been feeling that this week,
Yeah.
unfortunately, and it hasn't
Okay.
worked out.
Last thing before we sign off, I was looking at our Teams meeting, how all of our people are on this, and it seemed like I needed another person down at the bottom, so we hired another person who is starting on the 1st.
Mhm.
So Nicholas accepted our offer, Sebastian, and so he will. So Scotty and Sebastian and Ryan, we probably need to sometime maybe next week sit down and talk about what we want to do to start getting him onboarded and how we want to get that to manage that. So he'll start on the 1st of September.
Okay.
Sweet.
Sounds great.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help you.
Sounds good.
Okay, see you. Happy
Okay.
Monday.
Welcome back, Sebastian.
Yeah.
See you.
Bye-bye.